Well, Carson Wentz had his press conference today and want to go over everything, obviously, from the press conference. I've kind of been going over all the press conferences because these guys really haven't hit the field yet. It's only, the second day they kind of been together at the NovaCare, second or third day. So Carson Wentz had his press conference. Going to go over some of the stuff there, some important things to really look at, and just what he's been doing this offseason and what's been pretty much going on. So let's get straight to the news. Now, Carson Wentz talked about, if he would have opted out, obviously, with Marquise Goodwin, he said he respects Marquise Goodwin for his decision, and obviously he's thought for himself and his own family. He's got a newborn at home as well, so you know what, he says it might be different for guys that don't have families, that are single and kind of just are on their own. But Carson Wentz always thought about maybe doing it, but just for the sake of his family and everything like that, of opting out or taking some time off. But Carson's ready. He feels safe at the NovaCare complex, and he doesn't really think much is going to go on. Obviously, there is a cautious, to be safe and stay away from, people that that you don't really need to be around. So Carson Wentz is being safe. He feels very secure at the NovaCare, being around the guys. So that's a very good thing, and I'm glad he's in the building. So a beat writer asked Carson Wentz about the leadership role. Obviously, Malcolm Jenkins has been gone, was a big vocal leader, part of not just the defense, but this whole entire team. Wentz has come up to be more of a vocal leader this year, but at the same time, he says naturally, even for the defense, a natural leader will come, naturally throughout the year. So he's not really worried about someone kind of stepping up to be in that natural spot. I'm not really worried about anyone coming up in that natural spot to be that vocal leader for the Philadelphia Eagles at all. I mean, we do lose Malcolm, heart of our defense, but we have a lot of hard-working pieces all around that right now, and I think we've replaced, obviously you're never going to replace a Malcolm Jenkins, but they signed, the Eagles signed a lot of guys this offseason this year, and if there's going to be a leader, you're going to see it, obviously. Were you seeing Malcolm Jenkins with this defense, before the game, and bringing the defense together? And every time you're in the stands or you're at home, you always know when Malcolm Jenkins is talking to the defense. You kind of say to yourself, the defense is set, the defense is ready to go. I don't have to worry about the guys being not ready, scared, not prepared, whatever the hell it is that the feelings have, whether they're rookies or not. But you always know that if defense is set when Malcolm's here. But since he is not, a natural leader will come forth, and I'm not really worried about that at all. And Carson isn't either. So all the rumors came out, obviously, when Carson was walking into the NovaCare that one day, and everyone said, oh, he looks bigger, he gained a lot of weight. Carson said he gained very little weight. Obviously, he probably got a lot leaner, probably worked out, changed his diet a little bit, which he has been doing. But he said he didn't really gain much weight. Obviously, he loved the compliment and kind of looked at everybody and said he liked the compliment. But, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. Nothing. He's not, pumping iron. He's not juicing himself or anything like that. So, obviously, just a little bit of weight. Probably just got leaner, looks more muscular and stuff. So, glad that he's taking care of himself. And that's pretty much what he said with that. Now, Carson talked about this offense, all the new pieces. Obviously, he took a lot of guys to Houston, all the new receivers to Houston, Texas, this past year. This is when everything was starting to start with COVID and everything like that, and said, he wanted to bring everyone to Houston, get them in the heat, obviously football weather, and kind of just work really hard with all the new guys. He says he loves all the new guys. And what he said about all the new guys is they all have speed and they all are going to contribute. Obviously, he talked about Marquise Goodwin, say it's a big, it sucks that he's not going to be working out with him and not be throwing the ball to him, which he was kind of upset about, but he respects his decision, like I said before. But all the new receivers are definitely, he said that they're definitely going to contribute. They're fast. And he can't wait to see what this offense does. Obviously, he really likes the new wide receiver coach. He really loves Doug honing in with these offensive assistants, Press Taylor being the passing game coordinator. He thinks that, this front office or these coaches are going to use all these players plus him to his strengths. So that's a good thing. But he's very excited for these receivers with all of them. And he didn't even really specifically say who. He likes all these guys, in Quez Watkins, John Hightower, and Jalen Reagor a lot. He also talked about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside as well, kind of saying, he's excited to see what he could do in year two, a big step up. And I think Howie Roseman actually mentioned about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside taking a big step up. Obviously, he had some trouble with the playbook. Obviously, he had trouble with what he was doing in this offense. Obviously, you had Mike Rowe. Carson Walsh is the wide receiver coach coach, which is they're not here anymore. So, there's a lot more that goes into it. But, Harry Roseman expects JJ to have a big year in year 2. And Carson says, I'm not questioning his work ethic. His work ethic is fantastic. He's virtually been learning and honing in on what's going on. And expecting big things from him as well. So it's nice to hear that news, obviously, because all of us Eagles fans are wondering, is he going to do something in 2020? I really hope so. So the things that Carson Wentz wants to improve this season. 1 is red zone. 2 is third down. And number 3 is big explosive plays, guys. Obviously, the explosive plays he does miss because having Deshaun Jackson from that first game, very, very exciting. And you know what? The rest of the year, pretty much before everyone's hurt, before week 2 against the Falcons, he really didn't have any more explosive plays. Nothing really did happen after that. And, he really lost those explosive players. So we think going into 2020, he's going to have more of a chance for these big explosive plays, which he does like. I mean, he said, I'm not really a big fan of doing 15 plays, going down the field, but he says if he has to do it, he has no choice. But he loves those big open, those open receivers going down that are really fast. So that's something to look forward to. He also wants to improve on protecting the football. He thinks he's done that well the past few years. Obviously, I think he is the top quarterback in fumbles the past few years. So you kind of got to look at that. He says I try to make a big play, which I told you guys the same thing. He tries to make a big play. He knows that someone's chasing him, a guy's chasing him from the back. He knows that something's going to happen, but he tries to make a big play. I think with these fast receivers and these guys that can gain good chemistry with Carson Wentz with, less grass time that they've had so far and get into this training camp and get further and get these guys where, the play is always going to be alive regardless. I think Carson Wentz will still be the same player. He just needs to protect the football, throw it out of bounds. I wouldn't say take a sack. If you really have to take it, but throw the ball out of bounds, slide, protect yourself. I don't want Carson going crazy, obviously, but Carson's going to be Carson. I mean, if he's going to extend plays and he feels like there is something out there that he can throw and it's going to be a big play, he's going to do it. And that Carson doesn't give up on those plays regardless. So those are pretty much the 3 things he definitely does want to work on. Most importantly, Carson Wentz was asked a question about the top 100 players list, and as soon as they mentioned that, Carson's face kind of lit up, he kind of grinned a little bit, not in a mad type way, but he kind of just grinned of course they're going to ask this question. And pretty much how he feels about not being on the top 100. He says it's just a list. He said that, it just makes me more motivated. Obviously, these are voted by the players in the NFL. So it's all about what me and my receivers and the rest of this offense are going to do against the league this year. So he didn't really go. He didn't really hone in on I'm gonna show everybody. But you kind of could tell that he was a little mad, a little flustered over not being on the top 100 list. And he's ready to prove something in 2020. Believe that. I promise you that. I can see the fire in his eyes when he was just asked that question. You guys are going to see. I think we're all going to see as Philadelphia Eagle fans, and oh God, I can't wait. Overall, of this press conference, Carson just says he thinks this whole entire Philadelphia Eagles offense is set up for success, especially not just now, for the future, with the offensive assistants with Doug Peterson, with Jeff Stoutland and Deuce as the run game coordinators, Press Taylor as the passing game coordinator, Doug calling the plays and having these offensive assistants with Doug, kind of giving him ideas. He likes how everything is set up with all of these guys. And he thinks that these coaches are going to use these players to their strengths on the field, and it's going to be a very successful season. He's very excited for all these receivers. He says he cannot wait to throw the ball to these guys with pads on, obviously. It's very much different when you don't have pads. You're just casually throwing the ball and running some routes and doing stuff. But when you're in, when Doug creates these game scheme practices where, since we don't have preseason, look at these guys a little bit closer, and he's pretty damn excited. So I can't wait to see it. He probably can't wait to get in with these guys, and I can't wait to hopefully see a live stream of these guys going out for passes. Hopefully they can at least try to, record a whole scrimmage. I would love to see just an entire scrimmage and just see all that. Would be pretty damn cool for us fans, as, sticking around and, just being really, not giving up on football. And, for the people that haven't given up on football, it is what it is. For the people who have given up, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Either way. But I'm very excited. I know Carson's excited. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Carson Wentz, the offensive assistants, Doug Peterson calling the plays, just the whole offense, as a whole between the coaching staff and all the players and the newly acquired guys that we did have. Who is going to have a big year this year? What's going to work in this offense? Do you think that these offensive assistants, do you think that the Eagles are going to use all these players to their strengths? Let me down in the comment. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later. Shake Squad up, fly, fly.